Hello, everybody. My name is Unwound, and I am your host for this week's race number 4. So, what we have going on this week is a very interesting track. I'm really looking forward to it. Main feature of this track is it looks like they just go off into a cliff, when in reality it's just this big drop, and we'll see if we can catch somebody here. Nobody's coming. Oh, no, there's somebody. But he is starting from pit, so it's not going to be as spectacular. When they go off this jump, or they go down this hill, they tend to get a little bit of air. He's not, because he was not at full speed, but we're going to see something here that's going to make this race very interesting. So that's going to be a very interesting race there. And second thing we have that's new is we have the GP Simsports news van. How big is your ping? If you did not know, GP stands for Grand Ping or Ginormous Ping. Ginormous Ping Simsports, that's us. So we're going to be streaming from the news van today. Hopefully it'll go a little smoother. The countdown was a little interesting. Right now we're just doing some practice, it looks like. Let's make sure we have this debug on so we can tell what's going on. Alright. Should be a very interesting race. We'll watch some practice going on, and then we'll move on to some qualifying. And race should start anywhere between 9:15 to 9:30. And then we'll be well off into the races, probably ending around 10 to 10:30. a beautiful day at Meadowdale Raceway. Beautiful day in March, late March, March 26th to be precise. 9:05 p.m. Watching some practice before this week's, I'd say, hectic race. Some of you, I'm sure, have watched the teaser for this week, and it was truly a sight to behold, both for terrible editing and also for that. The second you get some wind or air under that car, it's flipping over. Luckily, AC is not that advanced. And yes, we are indeed in the GP Simsports ping van. Finally got that added. Let's watch some practice. Sauce doing really well. Had a car swap mid-season. Not certain exactly how this works, but some of the drivers who did very well will have a re-roll on what car they're driving to kind of keep it fair, if that makes sense. So Sauce, let's see, what is this? That's, of course, the Shelby Cobra. Sauce is in the Shelby Cobra, number 84. Very fun livery, I might add. So this track, from what I know, is meant for, was actually created for old NASCAR races, obviously not the ovals, but as a road course. And you can see up here we have this big banking turn. I can only imagine going off or going down the first hill in old NASCAR. And of course, I must add this week, and this week I do have it in the description. We are selling ginormous ping merch. It's called GPS. It'll be down in the description. I personally have a shirt and mug for them with a logo for both. They are very cheap priced, just so only the cost of materials is added in. And then very cheap. So shirts roughly $15. Some of the double-sided ones are a little bit more expensive, and mugs roughly $10 to $11. So pretty cheap, good quality stuff. I've been wearing my shirt, using my mug for a few weeks now. I like them both. Let's see if I can kind of show you what they look like here. Plug in my camera. Alright, here we are. You can see I got the GP Simsports shirt, GP Simsports mugs. They also come in white, and we have different like style shirts for different seasons we've done. All very nice stuff. Again, it's in the description along with my Discord if you want to start the process of joining. I personally haven't taken a lap this on this track. I will have to though, just because I don't know what it's like going off that going down that hill, because you get so much air. I imagine turning your wheel, if you needed to make a correction, would be disastrous. Which is why, even just on a regular track that has a big flat straightaway, all these cars starting, especially the second race, if you remember what happened last week, they all crashed into each other, and it was not on a big hill, but if they all crash into each other and they're halfway in the air, it's going to be a pretty entertaining second race and pretty entertaining first race. Pro here in second. Who knew? I kind of wish we could see some new people up here in these podium positions, but no one can match their skill quite yet. Drifting, and these tires are deadly. If you hit these tires, you are going to stop. That's AC mod physics for you. These tires don't smush, they don't crunch, they don't fall out of the ground and go flying. You hit it, it's like hitting a solid concrete with rebar. It's like you just immediately stop and get stuck. So that's horrible if you end up hitting one of those. So you have to get really close to maximize your momentum, minimize your time spent on track. But you could just a few inches over and you will stop. Some serious wheel spin here there coming out of pits. Although the nice thing is they probably won't build up enough speed from starting to actually get any air off the downhill. I also did a little bit of graphical work. I don't have SOL on or so on. I kind of just updated graphics, have a few of the content manager stuff on, but the sole post-processing filters are a little off on this track, so I decided to keep it off for this week. Hitting the bridge. A little bit of skidding there, back trying to pass the front a little bit. He pulled out of it nicely. Oh, he did not save that one. He is definitely skidding. It seems to be that this Bizzarini is a little difficult. And we're moving on to qualifying. As I was saying, yes, the Bizzarini seems to be a little difficult going around these corners, especially on this track. The back likes to pass the front quite a bit. And it's, as you can see, it was difficult to pull out of, and he ended up hitting the tires. Again, that tire spin. If this was still a practice session, I might take the news van around the course. If you want to see that, just let me know. Maybe next week I'll take the news van around during practice time. Rodan, Team Ferrari this week. I'm also biased to Ferraris. This was my old card with my old paint scheme before I moved on to the news, man. Alright, looks like Sauce is on a much faster faster line than Air-Cooled. Trying to be polite to let Air-Cooled keep his time up, as he is a slower car, but he'll be slower if he gets hit. Sauce is swerving a little bit there. I'm not sure what that's about. That is not the line I would have taken, but it looks like this is the most superior line, actually. Just a little slower at the beginning, not sure. Looks like we're gonna have a pretty, it's a little bit bigger than last week. Last week we had, what, 8 people? Just like today we're gonna have 12, as long as we exclude me in that time score there. I'm keeping that slot open just in case another person joins in. But, as expected, both Pro and Soft are switching back and forth in first position. Being in third, Rodan in fourth. I actually am kind of surprised. I'm expecting Rodan to do a little better than that. I guess we'll see. Oh, Gameboy coming in with a 153, holding the third place. There he is. That's third place. He's very happy in third place. You can see most of these races he's keeping up third. Rodan back in fifth is actually surprising to me, as he at times has been up there in first position, second position. Only way back in fifth. Surprising. exercising some of my camera work here. Just getting some good footage of Sauce going around in his qualifying laps. Obviously he's in first place, but he's too far from going back to second. I'm interested to see what Pro's going to qualify as. Oh, a little crash there. Looks like Mike was having some issues, or something happened, and Sauce has full-on T-boned him. Sauce felt that that lap was no longer necessary. And if you are curious about destruction, we don't actually have mechanical destruction anymore on the server, which is a point of question. Not sure if we on it on or not. I don't have much of a preference. Either way is both interesting and helpful in its own ways. That is probably not how it looks in real life. Alright, 30 seconds left before race 1. You can see me in there streaming. My microphone is actually my seat belts. You can see that center console is actually what I'm streaming from. It's a little outdated, I know. Try to wear the entire racing suit when we stream, obviously. The real question is, if you join us, how big is your ping? We set ping sizes of all kinds. We are now in overtime, getting ready for race number 1. Alright, those spews of smoke let you know that it is time to start. We just a few seconds left. Soon they'll all be placed in their grid squares and we will be off. 25 seconds left. The news van will have to be taken off the track as it still is brought onto the grid even though it's not racing. So, let's get on the grid here. Alright, here is the lineup for race number 1. Sauce in first place. I don't know why it says 12, that's incorrect. Sauce in first place. Pro in second. Game Boy in third. Rodan in fourth. Dean in fifth. Race Brick in sixth. Drillin in seventh. Air Cooled in eighth. Mike Kirby in ninth. Okay, these are all incorrect. I don't know what's going on here. Penguin in 10th, Moto in 11th, and Gunner in 12th. Me in 13th in last place, but I'm not racing, so it does not matter. Gotta make sure that I am in control of my car here. Make sure that I indeed get off the track in time. Alright, yes. Right now we are locked on to race break. It's always a little bit of a race by myself here, to race to get back into the pits, but also in time to... Yes, there we go. And they're off. I'm very excited to see how this downhill section will go. Pro getting smoke. All of them with different acceleration levels. Very interesting to see them go back and forth. No air on this lap. Not enough speed to get air. They're going 3 wide into corner 1. Oh! 3 car spin out back there. 4 car spin out. Looks like some people had it worse than others. My fellow Ferrari over there doing well, coming back out of that. Rodan actually spinning out. Looks like he hit a tire. That's who I was following. Let's see. Very interesting. Wish we could capture it all, but there's just so much going on. Right now we're following Rodan, who is in 3rd place. Of course, Pro is like seconds ahead of Sauce here. No, 1.2 seconds realistically. Looks like Sauce is about to get passed by Rodan, which is impressive. Actually, no, Sauce is pulling away again. I called that way too soon. Someone's got their headlights on back there. That's not right. It's not nighttime right now. Alright, Rodan. In my old car with my old livery. Coming into that corner. Pretty heavy on. Trying to catch up to Sauce. Definitely has no lack for pressure of people right behind him. Under a second behind him. This is going to be interesting here. We're going to see all these guys go over this jump. Is anybody going to spin out? Is anybody going to crash? At this point, they're pretty far away from one another, where it's not going to cause a huge wreck of all of them trying to jump off at the same time. It's pretty much eliminates that risk entirely. Where is Dean? I was Dean in 10th. Dean must not be doing very good at this track. He's actually now in 14th. Or 9th, sorry. 14 seconds behind. That surprises me. Although if you look at the map at the bottom right, you can see they're all still pretty grouped up. Not that much separation, but enough separation where there aren't going to be many crashes. Oh, you see that one dot did indeed crash. Sauce is really getting up close to Pro. Very similar lines as they are in the same car. Although, looks like Pro braked a little bit earlier, turned in a little bit earlier, while Sauce kind of bombed in that turn a little bit more. We saw this line in Sauce's practice. It doesn't seem to be going well for him, as you can see. Pro really pulling way out of that corner. Not sure why Sauce is doing that and what his mindset and strategy is behind it. But it's not working well, though he does seem to be catching up in nearly every other section of this race. All 4 tires off the ground. lots of smoke coming from Pro as he just slams on the brakes. One thing we added for some of the newer drivers is optional ABS. I think we also added optional traction control just to try to keep the playing field even for those who really need that. I'll say this is like one of their first sim racing or first races, first series. But the reason I bring that up is because I assume drivers like Pro or Sauce don't have anti-lock brakes and don't have traction control on, just for the sake of the sport. And they are, you can see Pro's brake blocking up kind of it. Wow, looks like Penguin had a bad start, which is surprising. He is not very new to our group. He must have had something to happen. Wow. That first race or that first crash must have done him poor because he is way back here with his headlights on. How to get lapped. I feel kind of bad, but hopefully he's still having a good time. Alright, there has been a very large mix-up of skill from that first crash, really spreading out the fields, but it seems to be that once they get settled into their position, it becomes much more difficult to really move on from that position and move up. Dean has done a good job with that. He also has his headlights on for some reason, but he has passed, I think, 3 people since the start of the race. Doing pretty well. Still 20 seconds behind. That first crash did some bad things. Penguin's is a lap behind everybody. Gunner looks like he's almost a lap behind everybody if you look at the leaderboard here. Dean is doing pretty well keeping up. So is Air and so is Kirby. Moto is pretty far behind. You can see the bottom right, the pack is really starting to slow down. We have Penguin all the way back here, that's Gunner, and they're really slowing down, as you can see the faster guys way up here, and they are gradually coming apart from the rest of the pack and one another. There is Penguin. I was wrong. This must be Gunner up here. Penguin somewhere in here. Let's get a onboard cam. Makes things a little more interesting for us viewers. have a little bit of a helmet camera going on, which is pretty interesting. Whoa! If you were watching the leaderboard, Pro just got fastest lap, and Sauce, who was right behind him, just 0.8 seconds away from him, then immediately got the fastest lap, approximately 0.8 seconds right after Pro got the exact same thing. So that's going to be interesting, because you can see Sauce up there getting much closer. Dean is still 5 seconds away from Game Boy. Wow, watching them go off of that, or go down that hill, go off that hill from their camera view, or from their helmet view, is crazy, because I just saw the sky for a good second. Hello, JIJ Fortune Fishing. Nice to see you watching again. We are on race 4. I am not racing, we are right now watching a helmet cam. Being able to stream, race, and commentate would be a crazy skill. And also promo my merch. Or not my merch, our merch. Pretty incredible. Yeah. We have a pretty nice pack, although they're slowly getting a little bit more spread out. There's not a lot of action. Although, getting to race 2 is most certainly going to be more action-packed, as you know, the entire grid is reversed from the original. I'm sure you could make one day. I'm actually excited to go see what Sauce is up to, as he is getting closer. Oh, Kirby had an issue there. So I said that there isn't damage, but there might actually be on this race, because you saw his tires glitch out and such. Maybe there is damage. Penguin lap behind, having some issues. Game Boy moving up to 5th, getting one step closer to 3rd place, where he rightfully belongs, as seen by all of his past races. Rodan in 3rd, a whopping 11 seconds behind Pro. We gotta move up to Sauce. This is incredible. He's getting really close. .2 seconds away from passing Pro. Love him back a little bit. This is the spot where Sauce is slowest, where he's going to start to really drag behind Pro. Unless he's fixed it. He's copying Pro a little bit more there, and using the best of Pro and the best of his line to get that really tight corner in. Still not quite as fast as he do have to brake a little bit more, because he's getting pretty close to Pro. So he's up and roughly 0.6 seconds away from Pro. But really how he handles his first corner is going to do him well. He's sliding off into the last corner there. Slowly losing. Oh, now he's gaining. Watching the 0.0 seconds go up and down, just as he gets inching closer and inching farther away. Really trying to get first here. This is going to be an interesting battle to see who really deserves first place. Identical cars, identical track, different drivers. Whoa! Pro really feeling the pressure there, sliding a little bit as he goes into that corner. A little bit of a slide there, again. Every time that happens, it slows him down a little bit more, as Sauce is back to being 0.3 seconds away. Pro braking a little bit earlier than Sauce. Sauce knew what he was doing. And he's getting really close. Sauce has been breaking later and later on all these corners, and that's paying off as he gets closer to Pro. Passing Pro, he put the pressure on Pro. Oh! He just put the pressure on Pro, getting him off of his own line. But will... Oh, man. Yep, Pro has felt the pressure. He got off of his line. He broke later. It threw him off. Then Sauce passed him, a double whammy, slowing him down enough where he is now an entire second behind Pro, or behind Sauce. Making Sauce the leader with 1 lap left. As long as Sauce can hold this off, he's going to get first place, and a well-deserved win at that. What he's doing? Unless that was his final lap. Oh yeah, that was his final lap. You can tell because Pro just... Alright, that was a good first race. I apologize for not realizing that was indeed the final lap for him. You can see up there it said the final lap. That's what tripped me up. So that was a good first race. Rodian showed his frustration of not getting back to second or first as he has from past race by absolutely T-boning Sauce, who is the winner of this race. Second place. It's always funny to see these cars at the end. What is Dean doing? He's just smoking over here. Okay, maybe these cars do have damage. I'm not sure.
These are burnout.
These are cars aren't front wheel drive. I don't know what that's about. Okay. So, first place, Sauce, a well-deserved win at that. Pro Darwin, second place with under a second difference. Third place, Rodan. Fourth place, Race Brick. Fifth place, Game Boy. Fifth place, Game Boy. Sixth place, Drillin. Seventh place, Dean, which I am actually surprised about. I'm really hoping that Dean switches it up this second race and he's able to get into those higher positions he's so used to. Eighth place, Error. 9th place, Moto. 10th place, Gunner. And in a sad 11th place, Penguin. Looks like Mike got 12th place somehow. I was not expecting him to be passed by Penguin, and Penguin was an entire lap behind him. A very interesting race there. Forget flying fish or pigs. We have flying cars. Yeah, who needs that? We have flying cars. That's what this track is very famous for amongst our drivers, is just trying to not die when they go off this end. And I'm going to let you know this as you have not been here for the first race. When they really start off now, they're not going to have issues going off the track because they're not going to be to speed. And once again, we do have the GP Simsports news van. How big is your ping? GP stands for ginormous ping or grand ping. So we see the inverted lineup here. Looks like everybody finished. So we have Mike Kirby first place, Penguin in second place, Gunner in third place, Air Cooled fourth, Dean in fifth, Drillin in sixth, Game Boy seventh, Race Brick eighth, Rodan ninth, Pro 10th, Sauce 11th, Moto 12th. Looks like Moto got a DNF. This is going to be an interesting race because these are the slowest guys up front, except for Mike. He's pretty quick. And the fastest guys in the back, except for Moto. He got a DNF. And obviously the news van is the fastest of them all. The only reason we're not racing is because I know that if we raced it, it would beat the others out of the park. That is indeed what GP stands for us. Usually it means Grand Prix. But for us, it is ginormous ping, Simsports. How big is your ping? Let's see. Got to get myself off the line here. This is going to be a very interesting first race. I'm not going to be able to give it to you as it happens. There's going to be too much going on. Start of race 1. Whoa, this is like a Spec Miata first race. Air cool, almost spitting out right in front of everybody else. We are like 5 wide right now. Penguin sandwiched in between. This is insane. This is insane. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say about that. It was so janky from everybody spinning out and hitting each other. I did not see what was going on. We have Mike Kirby in first place, Air in second place, Penguin in third place, no fourth place, no fifth place, Dylan in third, Rodin in fourth, Sauce in fifth, Penguin in sixth, Racebreak in seventh, Pro in eighth, Gunner in ninth. Right now we're watching Rodan in fourth place. He very much wants third place, and he's going to get it. This is going to be an interesting leading pack here, as most of these consist of the losers of last race. Mike is still leading. So Rodan is now passing the third place. Sauce as well. Trying his best there, but he got cut off. He got cut off by Joe. Rodan's sliding a little bit. Air cooled has some interesting suspension choices going on here. Sliding out pretty wide. And there he goes. All those tire marks everywhere from the countless crashes. I would love to clip that and go back and look, but I most likely will not. They're cooled, as I said earlier. Getting into those tires is a bad idea. They will stalk you instantly, spin you around, and put you really far back. Mike going in a wide line there by accident. Really pushing it and bombing it to that corner. Although he does not want Rodan to get first place, but Rodan is going to get it anyway. Let's see what's going on further down the pack. Pro Darwin passing and passing again. He has some catch up to do. 5 seconds behind leader. It's not an insignificant amount of time. Looks like they're going 3 wide into that corner. Not a good idea. Poor Mike was doing so well in second place. He got hit. He got hit with the tires. And those tires went through stopping. And he got spun around. And now he's way back in ninth. Poor Mike, but I don't doubt that if he really wanted to, he could catch up to back up to 5th place. Whoa, Sauce getting fast and flat, not a big surprise. And right after that, Pro getting fast and flat. Still not passing Rodan though, but Sauce, as you can see, getting closer, roughly 0.2 seconds away from him. Dean is 7th. Whoa, what's going on up here? Sauce is getting really close. Is he going to be able to pick straight under Rodan? Or get a better line and go around him on the outside? Or is he going to be stuck behind Rodan for 10 whole minutes? a crazy battle happening right here, going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Looks like Sauce was able to get around under him. He was really pushing, but Rodan keeps being able to pull right back in front, cutting him off, and not letting him pass. It's a very interesting race going on here. Oh, Sauce doing a later break on the outside in the corner. Not his usual line in this corner, but that's the line I would have taken. Is it going to be faster than Rodan? Looks like he's able to pull forward faster than Rodan is. Alright. Alright, Sauce has officially passed. Whoa, officially passed Rodan. We're getting a nice leading pack up here as Pro pass into third, and Drillin in fourth, Air in fifth, Race Break in sixth, Dean in seventh. Sauce, of course, is the leader here. Rodan close behind him. Pro close behind Rodan. For some reason on this track, it seems to be that our slower cars don't have their own specific like group. They don't have their slower pack as if there is a faster pack with Rodan, Sauce, and Pro, and sometimes Game Boy. Rather, it seems that they're very spread out, as you can see on the map here, because this is a leading pack. You probably this year's a leading pack. But back here, they're all so spread out, and even guys way back here, where they don't have a specific slower pack like there is this group of like 3 to 5 cars at first. And it surprises me that Game Boy is way back in 10th. That crash must have not done well for him. I believe actually he was one of the main focus points of the crash. Rodan was holding off Pro. Pro was able to get under him and had a better line into that corner. Right now, Rodan has the inside of the next corner, which is not where he wants to be if he wants the right time. And he notices that and he's slowly creeping over, almost getting pit maneuvered or almost pit maneuvering himself on Pro. Getting really close to those tires, not optimal. They're also not letting Pro pass him in that corner. Sadly, Pro had a better line and he was able to pass him, although in that short burst of glory, Pro got a little cocky, and you can see him start sliding his tires in these next corners. I am hoping Rodan's going to be able to pass him again, but it's not a given. A nice little secondary pack as Sauce has really pulled away from the rest of the group here with Pro, Rodan, and Drillin. Nice to see Drillin doing having trouble speaking today. It's nice to see Drillin doing well, up in 4th place. Jay and Jay's 4th and finishing. See you later, man. Thanks for tuning in and watching some of this race. Pulled back in 5th, doing much better compared to this past race. Dean, we see Dean back there, 6th place, still with his headlights on for some reason. I am not on the call. I don't really understand what that is about, but interesting choice. I'm hoping that Dean's going to be able to catch up to Aaron get higher up because he's been working hard and hopefully it pays off. He's had some bad luck with his crashes though. Lots of tire smoke and lots of sidewall as I have bad camera work while I commentate. Dean is slowly inching his way closer to air cooled. Looks like he's gonna have a good path to passing him. Sauce just got a new fastest lap. Or that might have been from before, to be honest. Four minutes left, and that's 4 minutes that Dean has to make up that 2 to 3 second difference between him and Eric. Pro is almost 5 seconds away from Sauce, so not too up there. Rodan is roughly 4 seconds behind Pro. Drillin is another 3 seconds-ish, or 2 seconds from Rodan. A lot of sliding going on from Eric. He doesn't seem to be able to keep his car as well as under control. I'm kind of surprised Dean didn't take him. Here's Dean, one of my favorite sounding cars. Maybe if he turns his headlights off, he'd go a little faster. Getting lots of air. There he goes. Lots of tire smoke up here. I wonder what happened. Must have just been braking. Ooh. I think Dean is in the same boat as not braking as soon as he should be. Looks like if you look at the leaderboard, Penguin just moved to last place. Must have had some issues. Game Boy is moving up to 8th place. Hopefully he gets up. But he only has 2.5 minutes left, so not enough time. Drillin in 4th place, doing pretty well. Trying his hardest to catch up to Rodan. Not sure if he's going to be able to make it though. Gunner pretty much alone out here, just kind of driving the course, doing the best he can. Penguin a lap behind everybody else. 2 minutes left, so right now we're watching Race Brick in 7th place, right behind Dean. By right behind, I mean like 5 seconds away from him. Game Boy, another, like 20 seconds behind Race Brick. He's not going anywhere. Let's see if we can watch from the news van as these cars pass. There's Pro in 2nd. Rodan in 3rd. Drillin in 4th. There goes Air. There goes Dean. Looks like Dean's catching up to him. Good to see Race Brick 7th. And we got another 20 seconds before the next guy shows up. Here's Rodan in 3rd. Sauce all the way up in 1st, doing really well. 6 seconds ahead of Pro. Looks like Pro got 2nd. Good for him. Can't say I didn't see it coming. Alright, and here is the battle I have been anticipating for the final lap, it looks like. Can Dean catch up to Air in this lap? He's going to try. And that either means he's going to pass and get 5th position, or he's going to crash and not get 5th position and get more like 6th, 7th. If Dean is able to really hold his line and keep his car on the track, even if he doesn't get into 5th, he might still be able to keep it on track. Oh! You're having a skid there, clipping the end of the bridge. As I watched the replay on my phone there, really just clipping the bridge and race brake, catching up, passing Air. Sad day for Air Cooled as he had a little spin out issue there. And this is the final. Nope, this isn't the final lap. This is the end. This is the end of the race. Sauce getting hit by Pro again there. A little bit of banter between the two. Or I guess that might have been Pro getting. Dean hitting Drillin, who was right in front of him. But Dean did well getting in 5th, although it was at Air's expense. Air and Race Brick coming in. That was an entertaining race. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. We're gonna see the leaderboard here in a few moments.
I'm not doing it. He's trying to hit me. Shh. Do you see this?
Alright, here we go. The final leaderboard for race 2. Sauce in first place once more. Pro in second place. Rodan in third place. Drillin in 4th. Dean in 5th. Race Brick in 6th place. Air in 7th place. Game Boy in 8th. Mike Kirby in 9th. Moto in 10th. Gunner in 11th. Penguin in 12th. Well, very interesting race. A very interesting 2 races. I much preferred the second race. There's lots more battle in there. I hope to see more individual battle throughout the race rather than just the big crashes at the beginning. Although that's going to be very difficult in a series like this with these more unpredictable cars. And that is the news or race coverage from GP Simsports News Van. How big is your ping? We'll see you guys next week, same time, with the same cars, but a different track. I will upload these final leaderboards as soon as possible. See you guys then.